again right now with breaking news from Gatesville. This is moments ago, actually a few hours ago in the 2 o'clock hour. This is video moments after an explosion at a hospital at the Coryell Memorial Hospital in Gatesville.
Yeah, this happening in the 2 o'clock hour this afternoon. Several ambulances assisting to the area. We've also had word of fire departments from Dallas and Austin area traveling to assist in this at this point, with injuries concerning first responders right now at this point as well.
That's right. We'll take it right now to the ground. We do have team coverage. We have crews on the ground right now. We've got Christina Bauer on standby at the Coryell Community Church, which is housing people who were evacuated from nearby the hospital. And we also have Maribel Santiago, who is on scene right now. Maribel, what can you tell us, describe the scene?
Well, guys, we've been here for a few hours, and like you said, this all started at 2 o'clock, but as you can see behind me, the scene is still very active. There are multiple units here, all the way from the Metroplex, even down to the Austin area. We still don't know the extent of injuries, who is all involved, but right now it's still an active scene. Now, we will continue coverage here at 5:45. We'll be hearing from law enforcement as to what is going on, and we'll have those further details later tonight on Fox 44 at 9 o'clock. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Maribel Santiago, live at the scene at Coryell Memorial. There, as she mentioned, there's that media briefing at 5:45. We do plan to take that live for you. But right now, we want to send it over to Fox 44's Christina Bauer, standing by at Coryell Community Church, where evacuees are standing by as well. Christina.
Leslie Robert, I am out here in Gatesville at the Coryell Community Church with Pam Martin, a registered nurse, and I'm going to ask her what's going on here. Can you please tell us what's happening here?
Yes, there was an explosion at the Coryell Community Hospital, and so the residents from the nursing home and the assisted living have been evacuated, and this is their triage center here that they're matching up their residents with their meds, and then they will triage them out to other facilities if need be to house them.
Which two nursing homes are we talking, ma'am?
The Meadows is affected, attached to the Coryell Memorial Hospital, and the Oaks, I believe, is the assisted living center.
What services are people right now receiving here? You mentioned earlier they're going through paperwork. What other things are going on here?
Of course, they've gotten them into the air conditioning to keep them cool. They're offering food and fluids, and making sure they're taken care of. All their physical needs are taken care of.
Can you please explain why this church has been selected as the point to bring these people here?
Yes, every facility has an emergency preparedness plan, and sites are pre-selected that if they need to dispatch the residents, that's where they're taken to.
Can you tell us what have you been doing here? How are you helping out here?
Well, we were over at the facility and helping to load residents. We brought our van and our bus here to help transport residents, just getting the residents set up, giving them fluids, carrying ice, whatever we can do to help.
Do you need any help from the community as far as donations, water? Is there anything people can do to help you out here?
I think already we have had a tremendous outpouring of support from the community. They have been bringing in boxes of water and cases of ice, and it's been tremendous.
Is there anything else that you can think of, anything important for our viewers to know, anything that we can do to help you guys out here?
Just keep the community in your prayers, and we'll continue on. We just help.
Thank you so much. Live in Gatesville at the Coryell Community Church, Christina Bauer, Fox 44 News.
All right, Christina, if you can hear me right before you head out, can you give us an idea of how many people are being housed right now at the Fellowship Center? I'm not sure if we can still hear her, if she can still hear us.
Yes, I will definitely ask her a question. Pam, can you please tell us how many people are here approximately? Are we talking dozens? How many?
Probably, I think the Meadows houses around 90 residents, and so then of course all the volunteers and all of the emergency personnel, so I'm maybe 300 at least.
Thank you so much. Leslie Robert?
All right, thank you, Christina. Of course, as Christina mentioned, that particular nurse came from out of town to help at this church. We know that there are several agencies we've seen as far away as Austin, Dallas area, Flower Mound. We know that crews from Fort Hood have confirmation that they have people on scene. We know that Marivel Santiago also saw Colleen crews in town. So a lot of first responders and first responding agencies really stepping up to make sure that everyone in Gatesville has this going for them, has everything going according to plan. Yeah, we've been listening to reaction all afternoon, even when we did our cut-in earlier. Right now, I want to bring in City Council member from Gatesville, Timothy Woodlock. Mr. Woodlock on the phone with us. I mean, this happening in the 2 o'clock hour. Your initial thoughts on what happened? I don't know how close you were in relation to it, but obviously something that everyone's talking about and can recall at that point.
I was clear across town. The lights flickered here a little bit, and the daughter-in-law called and let us know there's an explosion and smoke. They live on the west side of town, close to the hospital. So that's about all I really know, other than the people that really tried to stay away from there and didn't need to be there.
From someone who clearly represents, your constituents in Gatesville, talk to us a little bit. I mean, this is a very large facility. This explosion reportedly happening in an area where construction was going on and construction workers in there. How much does this hospital mean to that city right now with so much concern we're seeing pour out on social media and online?
Well, I don't know what would be their biggest problem be right now, other than trying to get power back on so they can operate again. I don't know whether it's back on yet or not.
Right. And Timothy, talk about this renovation project. I imagine this is something that the council was well aware of, making improvements to this hospital. What exactly was this going to bring, this expansion?
Well, it's bringing quite a bit to the community. It's helping in all areas of medical. And it's been great.
Mm-hmm. And Timothy, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, have any of your constituents reached out to you right now? As the city of Gatesville, are they under an emergency? Are responding agencies continuing to ask for help? Is there anything that the community can do right now to help as this situation is ongoing?
Only if they're asked for something. That's the only thing I could say. They don't need a lot of people around there other than the people that have there already.
Now, real quick, Mr. Woodlock, I mean, you mentioned earlier while we were on the phone that the council meeting tonight was canceled. Was that in direct response to this? No sense in you guys meeting tonight if something like this is happening?
Lost power. They lost power at City Hall also.
Right.
So we couldn't have a meeting without power.
That's correct. And Timothy, as far as you know, have you heard anything about any possible fatalities, a number of injuries, anything at all that you might be able to share with us?
I haven't heard anything other than what's been on the news stations all day. That's all I know.
Okay. Very good. Well, we appreciate your time with us this afternoon. Of course, continue to stay safe, and it looks like all of Texas is pouring out their thoughts towards the community of Gatesville.
Well, we better be praying for those people that got hurt. I'm sure they're the maintenance people, but they're people, people also, and I'm sure they need the prayers also.
All right, City Councilman Timothy Woodlock on the phone with us. Thank you, sir. We appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Timothy. And, as we continue to mention all the outpouring that is going on, this is a statement from Baylor, Scott and White. We know that they have activated their emergency operations centers right now, preparing to receive and treat victims of the incident that happened at the Coryell Memorial Hospital. Right now, both hospitals, Temple and Hillcrest, will remain open. They have their departments and teams making preparations to evaluate and treat any arriving victims. We're also just hearing that moments from now, actually should be right now, we're supposed to be getting an update from the Temple, Scott and White facility. We know we have a crew on scene right now. Kayla Kelly is headed towards that direction to kind of get an idea of how many patients that the Baylor Scott & White facilities are looking at bringing in. Yeah,
we spoke to someone on the phone earlier today, said that when that explosion happened, he not only heard it but felt it. It was so powerful at that point. We mentioned in Councilman Woodlaw, the councilman there talking about how the power was knocked out, canceling the council meeting, looking online at Texas and Power, their latest update, which is within the past half hour, saying that most of their customers are restored except the immediate area of the hospital and the water well, which is where we saw all that smoke billowing from out there. So they're hoping to have that wrapped up with power fully restored by about 8 o'clock tonight. Of course, you can check on the latest updates with that on our website or social media accounts as well. We'll have those posted on there as we get that into our newsroom, but that's the latest on the power situation.
Absolutely, and it is 5:41. We know that there is an imminent presser with all of the information details from official law enforcement confirmation. That is set to happen here in about 4 minutes. Of course, it is a developing situation. As soon as we get our crews on the ground, we will bring you that presser live. For now, stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.